Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Before starting the video, I request you to kindly support my channel. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Jazakallah. The haunting tale of King Qarun. As told in the Quran, a ruler who placed his trust in his own wisdom, defied Allah and his messenger, and met a catastrophic end. The Quran speaks of this infamous tyrant, known for his boundless wealth. A man so rich that it took countless camels just to carry the keys to his treasure chests. A disbeliever cursed to be swallowed by the earth, buried along with his immense fortune, and a sinister pact that sealed his fate. But the legend doesn't end there. A portion of his treasure, hidden for centuries, was unearthed just 25 years ago. Yet, his story remains veiled in mystery. Those who stumbled upon his cursed wealth met chilling fates, and the question lingers: where is the cursed treasure now? If you dare, let's uncover the dark secrets buried with Qarun. Qarun, the second wealthiest king in Islamic history. Known as Korah in other traditions, Qarun is said to be the second richest figure in history, surpassed only by Prophet Solomon. His name remains synonymous with immense wealth, and even today, the phrase "as rich as Qarun" is used to describe unparalleled riches. Yet, Qarun wasn't always wealthy. He was once a poor man, reportedly related to Prophet Moses. In fact, Moses played a key role in shaping Qarun's life. Before embracing faith, Qarun served as a representative of the Israelites in Pharaoh's court, despite his humble financial status. But after believing in Moses, he dedicated himself to learning, worship, and the betterment of his people. His devotion to Allah was unwavering. It is said that after Prophet Moses, no one recited the Torah as beautifully as Qarun. His wisdom and humility earned him a respected place among his people. But everything changed when Qarun became captivated by Pharaoh's grandeur. One day, Qarun pleaded with Moses, "You are close to Allah. Pray for me to become wealthy." At first, Moses hesitated. But since Qarun had turned away from Pharaoh's oppressive rule and sincerely followed Moses, he eventually convinced the prophet to pray for him. As a result of Moses's prayer, Qarun was granted the secret knowledge of alchemy, the ability to transform simple materials into gold, diamonds, and precious gems. From that moment, his fortune multiplied beyond imagination. The devil's trap. As Qarun's wealth grew, the devil saw an opportunity. Taking human form, he befriended Qarun and slyly suggested, "O Qarun, let us dedicate just one day a week to work instead of worship, while keeping the other 6 days for devotion." Though Qarun was already wealthy beyond measure, the idea of increasing his fortune was tempting. He agreed. Gradually, the devil led him further astray. "Why not work for half the week and worship the other half? You'll be able to donate even more wealth for good deeds," the devil suggested. Little by little, Qarun's ambition consumed him. Worship faded into the background, and the pursuit of wealth became his ultimate goal. The devil's trap had worked. As his heart filled with greed and pride, Qarun lost the humility that once defined him. Qarun's pride and jealousy. The more Qarun's wealth grew, the more his arrogance intensified. He began to envy Prophet Moses, believing he deserved more recognition. Though Moses had once been his mentor, Qarun no longer saw him as a spiritual guide. Instead, he resented the love and respect the Israelites had for Moses, admiration he wanted for himself. By this time, Qarun's fortune had become unimaginable. Even the keys to his vast treasuries were so heavy that an entire group of strong men struggled to carry them. His palaces gleamed with gold and jewels. His garments were woven with the finest threads, and he surrounded himself with an army of servants. He basked in luxury, blinded by the illusion of power. Yet, it still wasn't enough. Qarun wanted to surpass Moses in influence and authority. His heart, much like the devil's before him, burned with jealousy and pride. Determined to undermine Moses, Qarun took his first steps toward open rebellion, a decision that would seal his fate forever. Qarun's confrontation with Moses Qarun grew tired of Moses' advice and could no longer tolerate his counsel. When the duty of performing sacrifices was assigned to Moses' brother, Aaron, and his descendants, Qarun's hidden envy and arrogance became even more evident. Consumed by anger, Qarun confronted Moses and said, "O Moses, you have given your brother Aaron the duty of offering sacrifices, but I have not been assigned anything similar. Yet, I recite the Torah fluently. How can I endure such injustice?" Moses replied calmly, "This duty and rank were granted to Aaron not by me, but by Allah, the Almighty." But Qarun insisted, saying he would not accept this unless a sign was shown to him. In response, Qarun's final rebellion against Moses. Moses gathered the leaders of the Israelites and said, "Bring your staffs, and we will place them in a designated spot. Whichever staff turns green and grows leaves will signify the one who deserves this duty." The staffs were brought and placed in their place of worship. Among them, only Aaron's staff turned green and sprouted leaves. Following this clear miracle, Moses turned to Qarun and asked, "O Qarun, was this my doing?" Qarun, though stunned, allowed his ego to cloud his judgment and replied, "This is nothing but sorcery." Frustrated, he stormed off. But his rebellion against Moses did not end there. On another occasion, Allah, the Almighty, commanded the Israelites to attach blue stripes to their garments. Qarun rebelled against this too, claiming, "This is merely a way to distinguish masters from slaves," and he refused to comply. Qarun's resentment toward Moses grew stronger. The fire of jealousy in his heart burned him from within. Qarun's arrogance and refusal to give zakat. To win people over, Qarun began hosting lavish feasts and engaging in conversations that emphasized his supposed superiority. He also refused to give zakat, alms, from his wealth. Despite being reminded of his obligation, Qarun turned a deaf ear to both these words and Moses' advice. When Moses urged him to pay zakat, Qarun, forgetting that he owed his wealth to Moses' prayer, arrogantly said, "Are you after my wealth? I earned this fortune myself." This incident is described in the Quran as follows. Indeed, Qarun was from the people of Moses, but he behaved arrogantly towards them. We had granted him such treasures that even their keys would burden a group of strong men. Some of his people advised him, "Do not be prideful. Surely Allah does not like the prideful. Rather, seek the reward of the hereafter by means of what Allah has granted you, without forgetting your share of this world, and be good to others as Allah has been good to you. Do not seek to spread corruption in the land, for Allah certainly does not like the corruptors." He replied, "I have been granted all this because of some knowledge I have." Did he not know that Allah had already destroyed some from the generations before him, who were far superior to him in power and greater in accumulating wealth? There will be no need for the wicked to be asked about their sins. Then Qarun came out before his people in all his glamour. Those who desired the life of this world wished, "If only we could have something like what Qarun has been given. He is truly a man of great fortune." But those gifted with knowledge said, "Shame on you. Allah's reward is far better for those who believe and do good. But none will attain this except the steadfast." Then Allah caused the earth to swallow him up along with his home. Qarun's ultimate downfall. There was no one to help him against Allah, nor could he even help himself. And those who had craved his position the previous day began to say, "Ah, it is certainly Allah who gives abundant or limited provisions to whoever He wills of His servants. Had it not been for the grace of Allah, He could have surely caused the earth to swallow us up. Oh, indeed, the disbelievers will never succeed." Al-Qasas 76-82. Ayah. From this Quranic verse, we can understand the following. The worldly wealth given to someone as a test does not reflect their rank or value in the sight of Allah. As our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "If the world were worth as much as a mosquito's wing to Allah, He would not have given a disbeliever even a sip of water from it." The Great Slander Against Prophet Moses by Qarun. When Prophet Moses made zakat, charity, obligatory for the Israelites, Qarun could not accept it. Gathering them together, he said, "O Israelites, until now, you have obeyed everything Moses has commanded. Now, he wants to take possession of your wealth." The people responded, "You are our leader. Whatever you command, we will do." Qarun then instructed them, "Bring me such and such a woman. Give her whatever wealth she desires, and convince her to claim that she was with Moses." This sinister and cursed plan was immediately set in motion. In his efforts to rid himself of Prophet Moses, Qarun devised this vile scheme. He then approached Moses and said, "Come and speak to the Israelites who have gathered here to listen to your advice." Prophet Moses went to the gathering and began his sermon. "O Israelites, whoever falsely accuses someone of adultery will be lashed. Whoever commits adultery, if unmarried, will receive 100 lashes. If married, they will be lashed until death." Seeing an opportunity, Qarun asked, "Even if that person is you?" Moses replied, "Yes, even if it were me, the same punishment applies." Qarun's final betrayal and downfall. Qarun then said, "The Israelites claim that you were with such and such a woman." Prophet Moses replied, "Bring the woman forward. If she says such a thing, then it must be true." The woman was summoned. When she arrived, Prophet Moses asked her, "Have I been with you as they claim?" Whatever the reason, when the woman saw Prophet Moses standing before her, she changed her mind. She declared, "No, they are lying. They paid me to falsely accuse you." Upon hearing this, Qarun and the gathered people were struck with shock and disbelief. The people began shouting, "We believe in the Lord of Moses." This moment marked the beginning of Qarun's downfall. Prophet Moses immediately prostrated in gratitude. Allah then revealed to him, "Today, I have placed the earth at your command. You may command it as you wish." Prophet Moses then gave the earth the command, "Swallow them." With each command, the earth engulfed them a little further, first up to their knees, then to their waists, and then to their necks. Meanwhile, Qarun and his followers begged Prophet Moses for mercy. However, known for his stern nature, Prophet Moses continued his command for the earth to swallow them completely. This was not merely a personal affront to him, but an attack on the divine revelation he was entrusted to convey. For such a betrayal and crime, Prophet Moses could not grant forgiveness. Thus, Qarun and his followers, along with their treasures, were swallowed into the depths of the earth. Allah states in the Quran, "So we caused the earth to swallow him and his home." He had no group to help him against Allah, nor was he of those who could defend themselves. Surah Al-Qasas 28:81. The lesson from Qarun's destruction. Qarun's destruction was caused by his attachment to worldly possessions and his envy of others. As the Quran instructs, we are taught to seek refuge in Allah from the harm of envy. Say, "I seek refuge in the Lord of daybreak, from the evil of what he created, from the evil of darkness when it settles, from the evil of those who blow on knots, and from the evil of an envier when he envies." Surah Al-Falaq 113:1-5. Indeed, the fate of those who envy is nothing but regret and loss. Witnessing the destruction of Qarun and his followers, the people who had once envied him deeply regretted their admiration for him. What happened to the legendary treasure of King Qarun? After thousands of years, an extraordinary discovery was made in Turkey's Izmir province. one that will leave you astonished. In a village along the Izmir-Uşak road, a man with a treasure map enlisted 5 villagers to dig at a location he had pinpointed. After digging, the cursed treasure of Qarun. They uncovered a tomb, and within it, a treasure of 520 pieces of jewelry. This treasure consisted of jewels that once belonged to a princess, inherited from the Lydian king Qarun. However, this was merely a tiny fraction of the legendary treasure that had been swallowed into the earth, the small portion owned by the princess. The villagers, unaware of the rumors surrounding Qarun's treasure, sold the priceless artifacts at a fraction of their true value and celebrated their newfound wealth. What they didn't realize was the enduring legend that the treasure of Qarun might be cursed. A series of strange deaths. The treasure was smuggled to America, but strange events began to unfold. The villagers who uncovered the treasure started to meet untimely and mysterious deaths. One was crushed under a tractor. Another went blind. Yet another lost their sanity. Even those involved in transporting the treasure to America were not spared. They too began to die under peculiar circumstances. The battle to reclaim the treasure. Years later, the Qarun treasure, displayed at the New York Metropolitan Museum, attracted global attention. It was soon realized that the treasure had been illegally taken from Turkey. After a long legal battle and a $40 million effort, Turkey succeeded in reclaiming the treasure and bringing it back to its rightful home. Today, a small fragment of King Qarun's magnificent 2,500-year-old treasure is displayed at the Uşak Museum. However, years after its return, it was discovered that the most significant piece, the winged seahorse, had been replaced with a counterfeit. Despite the museum's cameras and security, the original piece had been stolen, but was eventually recovered in Germany and returned to the Uşak Museum. If you ever find yourself in Uşak, don't miss the chance to visit Qarun's treasure, but just in case, it's better not to get too close. The legendary treasure that remains underground. As for the legendary portion of the treasure that remains underground, some believe that it will only be unearthed by the awaited Mahdi, who will distribute it to those in need when his time comes. As Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Love of worldly possessions is a veil between you and Allah. Removing that veil is in our hands." Of course, we are to benefit from the blessings Allah has given us. But we must remember, worldly possessions are fleeting. As long as you have wealth, your enemies may act as friends. But when you lose everything, even your friends can turn into foes. At the end of the day, it's worth reminding ourselves, all the treasures in this world are temporary. The ultimate lesson from Qarun's story. In a hadith, our Prophet, peace be upon him, once spoke about prayer and said, "Whoever performs their prayers consistently, those prayers will be a light for them against darkness, a proof of their sincerity, and a means of salvation from punishment on the day of judgment. Whoever does not perform their prayers consistently will have no light, proof, or salvation. Such a person will be resurrected on the day of judgment with Qarun, Pharaoh, Haman, and Ubay ibn Khalaf." A hadith's warning. The dangers of neglecting prayer. This hadith serves as a powerful reminder for believers, cautioning them against allowing worldly distractions to pull them away from prayer. If wealth keeps someone from prayer, they mirror Qarun, the tyrant consumed by riches. If power blinds them, they resemble Pharaoh, the arrogant oppressor. If political status makes them negligent, they follow the path of Haman, Pharaoh's corrupt minister. If business and trade become their excuse, they are like Ubay ibn Khalaf, the wealthy merchant who opposed the Prophet. However, this comparison does not mean that someone who struggles with prayer is a disbeliever or condemned forever. Rather, it is a warning against adopting dangerous traits that can lead a person astray. Final reflections. Even when the universe feels vast and lonely, remember, you are never truly alone. Your support helps us spread these messages further. Like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video, inshallah. May Allah protect and guide you always. Thank you for your time and watching.